going to read an excerpt from the book of Lactantius of the manner in which the persecutors died, addressed to Donatus. And of course Lactantius was actually one of the main reasons why Christianity prevailed during the late Roman period. He's the person who actually made Constantine a pagan, a Roman emperor, into the first Christian emperor. So we're going to read an excerpt from chapter 44, when in 312 he fights with his co-emperor Maxentius over who was going to control the city of Rome. And now a civil war broke out between Constantine and Maxentius. Although Maxentius kept himself within Rome because the soothsayers had foretold that if he went out of it he would perish, yet he conducted the military operations by able generals. In forces he exceeded his adversary because he not only had his father's army, which deserted from Severus, but also his own, which he had lately drawn together out of Mauritania and Italy. They fought, and the troops of Maxentius prevailed. At length, Constantine, with steady courage in mind, prepared for every event, led his whole forces to the neighbourhood of Rome, and encamped them opposite the Milvian Bridge. The anniversary of the reign of Maxentius approached, that is, the 6th of the calends of November, and the 5th year of his reign was drawing to an end. Constantine was directed in a dream to cause the heavenly sign to be delineated on the shields of his soldiers, and so to proceed to battle. He did as he had been commanded, and he marked on their shields the letter He, with a perpendicular line drawn through it and turned round thus at the top, being the cipher of Christ. Having the sign He, his troops stood to arms. The enemies advanced, but without their emperor, and they crossed the bridge. Now the armies met and fought with the utmost excursions of valour, and firmly maintained the ground. In the meantime, a sedition rose at Rome, and Maxentius was reviled as one who had abandoned all concern for the safety of a commonwealth. And suddenly, while he exhibited the Cistercian games on the anniversary of his reign, the people cried with one voice, "Constantine cannot be overcome." Dismayed at this, Emperor Lactantius burst from the assembly, and having called some senators together, ordered the sibylline books to be searched. In them it was found that on the same day the enemy of the Romans would perish. Led by this response to the hopes of victory, he went to the field. The bridge in his rear was broken down. At sight of that, the battle grew hotter. The hand of the Lord prevailed, and the forces of Maxentius were routed. He fled towards the broken bridge, but the multitude pressing on him, he was driven headlong into the Tiber River. This destructive war being ended, Constantine was acknowledged as emperor with great rejoicings by the Senate and the people of Rome. And now he came to know the perfidy of Dia, for he found the letters written to Maxentius and saw the statues and portraits of the two associates who had been set up together. The Senate, in reward of the valour of Constantine, decreed to him the title of Maximus, the greatest, a title which Dia had always arrogated to himself. Dia, when he heard that Constantine was victorious and Rome freed, expressed as much sorrow as if he himself had been vanquished. But afterwards, when he heard of the decree of the Senate, he grew outrageous, avowed enmity towards Constantine, and made his title of the greatest the theme of abuse and raillery. So, this is the account of Lactantius about Constantine the Great's conversion to Christianity and his victory outside the city walls of Rome in 312, and the death of his co-emperor Maxentius. Lactantius. If it weren't for him, there wouldn't be Rome. Would still have been, may have been, a pagan empire, and Christianity may have not prevailed during the late Roman period.